Welcome back to action, everybody. Euroleague is back after 2 weeks off. And we now have a more clear picture on the second spot. So Barca is 2 wins away from anyone at the third spot. We can see Panathinaikos, Monaco, and Virtus all time at the third spot. And then Olympiacos and Fener just one win away from them. So everything now is gonna be full for the home court advantage in the playoffs, so position 3 and 4. But at the same time, things are not clear on the play-in tournament yet. Partizan is just one win away from the ninth position, where Valencia and Maccabi are. And just behind Partizan, we have Armani, we have Zalgiris, we have Efes, and Bayern Munich trying, to give it all and play the next, how many games left? I think 8 games, the next 8 finals till the 34th fixture. And of course, you have Cervena Zvezda. It's a little bit more difficult for them, but still, mathematically, they do have some chances there. So from all of these teams, especially, from the position 8 and downwards, it is the final. Every game is the final now. So this is the season we all love about Euroleague.
At the end of the regular season, I agree, Bill. And also, a defeat now, it will cost twice, let's say. It will cost massively, especially for the teams that are pushing to go to the play-in tournament, and the teams that they want to have the home court advantage. But I want to point out here, if you see, for 2 teams, Fenerbahce, which is currently at the 7th spot, and Zalgiris, which is on the 13th spot, they both in the last 10 games, they have 6-4 record. If you have seen Zalgiris, they have achieved some big wins versus Efes and Panathinaikos at their home court. So they are pushing. So the coach change helped both teams. You see, they are trying to, let's say, they have lost some ground all this time, but now they are trying to make up and have a good finish for the regular season for different reasons. Fenerbahce wants to be in the top 6. To avoid the play-in tournament in this case, and Žalgiris to get into the play-in tournament. So
yeah,
it's very,
and Fener could actually even get the home court advantage if, let's say, they have a great streak. Perhaps that's maybe an idea for an episode, maybe during the weekend, to predict how everything will end in the
like simulate the remaining games.
Simulate all the fixtures. Yes.
But
there is no way anyone would get that right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But now that's a good assist. So we can move to round 27 fixtures. As you see, tomorrow is turn 1, and we have a big game, which is Real Madrid versus Panathinaikos. It's both teams, they're huge brands, big names in the European basketball. Of course, Real Madrid is undefeated at home court, and it will be an exciting game, but I'll give the upper hand to Real Madrid in this game. Also, in 1st of March, if you see, we have, I believe these 2 games are, Fenerbahce versus Baskonia. This will be more exciting, I believe. Baskonia didn't participate also in the Spanish Cup, so they had more time to rest, let's say, and practice and get on the court refreshed. And also, as you see, the last game of the round 27 is Barcelona versus Monaco. Huge game, amazing game.
That's the game of the week, I think.
Yes, I agree. I'm waiting for this game. Just to see. I expect to see high level of basketball. You know what I mean, from both teams. They will battle to the last minute to get the W. Not It's not certain yet, because from the national team game, he got an injury, but it will be so nice and exciting to see again Ricky Rubio back on the court. Such a legend. I remember him with Badalona shirt when he started. He played his first Euroleague game actually with Badalona, and now he's back. All these years, memories. Now he has the experience, and hopefully we see him uh, in this
Yeah,
game.
yeah, definitely legend. Another game that I think is crucial is the Partizan FS. Both teams are extremely in need of a win there. It's gonna be a crazy game.
True, true. Because both teams want W, Partizan to get to the playing tournament, and Anadolu FS for the same reason, but to push to get up in the standings. But the atmosphere is always electric in Stark Arena, so I expect a great game and atmosphere.
Yeah,
Again.
and in terms of coaches, I think the opening game of this fixture, we can see Maccabi take on Alba in Berlin, but they should be able to clinch that. So Katas is our first option for a coach here, and I think it's just 6 credits, so quite a nice pick.
A nice pick, exactly, Bill. If you want to spend more for the players, keep in mind we will see later on as well, but we have unlimited trades for this round. Another coach that we recommend is Chus Mateo from Real Madrid. Um, Again, Real Madrid is undefeated at home court, so they have the quality. Also, Panathinaikos is not in a good form lately, so um, if you put all the factors and the criteria into the table, Real Madrid will get a W. Um, but of course, Chus Mateo, if I'm not mistaken, is the most expensive coach at the moment in EuroLeague fantasy. So this choice, you have to make sacrifices, let's say, on the player side to get Chus Mateo as a coach.
So for that reason, we'll go then to a cheaper option, right? At Virtus.
True, true. Lukan Banki, again, talking with electric atmospheres. Virtus at home is amazing. Um, so versus Valencia, they will get a chance to get the W, and because lately they struggle a bit. I think they also didn't make the final in the Italian Cup. So it's a good opportunity for Virtus to get a W and get back going up in the standings again.
It's actually another game where both teams they need this win because Virtus they need to keep the hope for a home court advantage alive, and at the other side, Valencia needs to stay within the play-in. And I wanted also to mention that Brandon Davis had some very good games
That's true.
recently with national team. So we don't know whether he will be tired or not, but is could be a choice if he's still on rhythm.
Hmm. He had good games also in the cup,
Yeah.
right? In For Valencia, like 18 points, something. But it's good to see him back after the injury he had. Then another coach will stay in the cheap side, let's say, on terms of credits. Another coach is Ettore Messina from Armani Milan. Armani, they went to the final, but they lost in the Italian Cup. But versus they're playing versus Asvel has quality players, but for some reason this year is not their year. So based on that, and also the fact that Mirotic is back, Shields is playing incredibly well lately, giving the points scoring that Armani wants. It's a good chance for Armani to get a W because
Yeah,
they
and
need to push for the playing tournament.
for sure. And just fact check, you're absolutely right. So I was referring to Brandon Davis actually to the Cup games. I was confused with the qualifiers in Asia and in Europe. So yeah, he had 18 points versus Real Madrid, and he had 17 points versus Gran Canaria, and 7 rebounds on the Cup games. But still, actually, this happened 15th and 17th of February, so quite a big gap, and so he shouldn't have any issues with fatigue.
Yes.
Contrary to what I just said, just
Yeah.
to get the record clear.
I know it was it's actually a big gap between the last Euroleague game and now, and we had so many games. I mean, the qualifiers for the national teams, and then the local cup games for every country. So too many games in a short period of time. So that's why you can make you can confuse yourself with this. And the last
Have
one,
we talked
yeah,
about the last one? Okay, go for
yeah.
it.
So the last one is Coach Pablo Lasso from Bayern Munich. It's the most risky. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a cheap choice again, based on the value of the credits, but it's a risky one because on the paper, let's say, it has the toughest game. I'm referring from the coaches who cost 6 credits or less, because they're playing at home, of course, but versus Crvena Zvezda. They won the Serbian Cup, Crvena Zvezda, so they will have the motive to just go into the court and get all the energy and get a W. Also, Milos Teodosic is back, and he had an amazing game in the Serbian Cup final. If I remember correctly, 18.7 assists, something like that. But he was vintage Milos. So these are the 4 or 5 options. Yes, let's say the cheap coaches and the expensive one. You can call it like this. Choose Mateo's expensive one, and then we have all the other cheap choices for you to recommend. Anything to add, Bill, about the games or coaches?
No, I think we can just get on with our teams then.
Mm-hmm. So we
So
have
here we have
yeah. Mm-hmm.
the AlleyOopDunks. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So this is our first team. You mentioned, Konstantinos, earlier that there are unlimited trades this time. So if you
Yep.
move the credits there, so yeah, you can see the changes we did this week. We
That's
decided,
sorry, Bill.
contrary to what we've said before. Yeah.
Bill, these are not changes. This is a rebuild. Again, whenever we have a limited trades option, we make a rebuild. It doesn't work, but we make a rebuild. Hopefully, this time it will work.
I was about to say the same. We said before we're not gonna repeat that. Here we are repeating it again. Although, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna work this time. Who knows? But we really thought we wanted to build around the 2 players that we already had in our roster, and that was James and Baldwin. Um, so we're improving our forwards. As you can see, we have both Seals and Mirotic now. Of course, improving them, it's down to what they really do on the court. Because we had before Monek and Mitoglu, and in theory or even in actual results in the past, these 2 players had really higher scores than Shields and Mirotic. But last time around, both Shields and Mirotic had 31.9, I think, fantasy points. Mirotic is very efficient on scoring, so within just a little playing on time, he is able to have high score. And on the other side, Shields is the main player at forward. Sometime we know Messina is also getting him down to position two, to the shooting guard position. In general, Chills is the player that actually gets the most balls in Armani. So, perhaps a little bit of risk of us because maybe only one of them will have a great game. But with the recent form of, Mitoglu and Moneke, we thought we go this way. We try this different avenue. Then we swap Nebo for Lovren. That that is mainly due to the day of playing. So Lovren is playing on turn one, on turn two, apologies, and Nebo on turn one. We already have Pradilla that is playing on turn one. So and most of our players would play on turn one. So we wanted just to break that and also have a cheaper option than Nimbo. We brought also Francisco for Avramovic. And finally,
in a great form. MVP of the German Cup final, Francisco, in a great form lately. Just
yeah,
the scorer that Bayern wanted to have on the roster. And if I'm not mistaken, the last game it was versus Partizan, right? That he scored a 3-pointer that gave the lead to Bayern and actually the victory.
yeah, it was a buzzer beater almost practically. And very good with a step back. So very, very nice move from Francisco. And I think we had Francisco already in our team previously. I don't remember if that was on our first or our second team, but we had Francisco before. So he's coming back. And finally, we closing the team with keeping Marinkovic. He's been very productive of lately, and he keeps scoring for Baskonia. And finally, we're keeping Kalaitzakis because he's quite cheap with 4.8, and he's getting some playing time sometimes. And also we have Biberovic. So what can I say about Biberovic? First game with Turkey, first quarter that he's playing, buzzer beater on first quarter of the first game he's playing. Second game of his career with the international team, winning buzzer beater for Turkey that they were behind, that they were not ahead in score. So sensational Biberovic. Recently, he was also playing well in Euroleague, so he got that momentum, and I think now his confidence should be very, very high. So it is really good to see, a younger player really jumping and get his chances and playing very good. It's very nice.
And Biberovic is playing for Fenerbahce many years. It's not like last year joined the team. No, he's for so many years in Fenerbahce. And to me, he is one of the positive surprises based on the work that he had put on his game. To me, he's developing still, but at the moment, he's one of the best shooters. If you see, like when he catches the ball, he can just shoot from everywhere. But that's the work that he put, the effort into his game. Just
yeah, and he's just 23 years old, and just 4.2 credits. So if he keeps that way, that 4.2 credits is a steal.
Yes,
but we shall see. At this age, you don't know if they can, keep the momentum on, but hopefully he keep.
Yeah, that's true.
And finally, the last thing I didn't mention, of course, our coach is Katas. It's a 6 credits playing at Berlin. So we expect him at least to give us 10. I mean, our hopes he give us 20 plus, but okay. We will take even the plus. Let's say.
Yeah. True. But as you see, this team is full. So let's also see our second team. the development team that we have. This is the deep value team. Um, so let me also put the credits again. Zero. Here, as you see, we have made less changes. Again, it's a rebuild. Don't just see only one two changes. It's a rebuild again. So I will start how Bill ended the first team by saying that we changed the coach and we brought Luca Banchi with 5 credits in the team. So you see, we wanted to spend more on the players. That's why we have 2 coaches in the teams with 6 credits or less for both teams. Um, then, despite having good games for Czech Republic, we didn't want to keep Satoransky, and we brought in Panther. Panther had some good games lately. He has the momentum, and he needs to step up and be that scorer that Partizan wants. If Partizan has the expectations to get to the playing tournament and be competitive, Panther needs to step up for the team. Then we had Ojeleye, but we thought that Colson versus Alba Berlin is more of a safe option to have the team, mainly based on the opponent. Ojeleye is playing versus his former team, that's Virtus Bologna. So again, it's a more difficult game for Valencia. So we brought Colson for this reason. As you see, Dinos Mitoglu, from what Bill said, he's not anymore in the first team. He needs to be in this team to get the rhythm again and the momentum. And we brought him instead of Alpha Diallo because Monaco is playing versus Barcelona, so Diallo will have some tough tasks on the defense, let's say. So that might cost with fouls or focus more on defense than offense. We kept Shane Larkin as our captain. He had 70 as captain, 35, and gave us 70 as captain in the last round. So Larkin is a no-go. He stayed with the team. Same as Schneider as a filler. Jackson again as a filler. Diaz as a filler. And then we brought in Scotty Wilbekin instead of Campazzo. Um, this is that's how Campazzo works for Real Madrid now. We're getting to the end of the regular season, so some key players for the teams they will need more time to rest, let's say, because they played more during the regular season, and also Real Madrid, as you see in the quarter, undefeated. So if they get, let's say now versus Panathinaikos, if they get plus 15 points or plus 20 points, then Campazzo will be on the bench resting. So for these reasons, we chose Wilbekin, who is also in a good form, one of the best scorers for Fenerbahce. And versus Baskonia at home, he will get the shots and the opportunity to again be one of the main scorers for Fenerbahce. And lastly, we brought in Kotsar. Kotsar had some big games with Estonia, right, Bill, with the national team.
Yeah.
So with this in mind, and also that he is one of the senders that if the game goes well, he will give the scoring to Baskonia. And also we have Pleiss as well, who stayed with the team. So we thought the Kotsar Pleiss duo is a good, and also let's say we don't have to spend too much money on the standards.
A deep value too.
True, deep value choice. Yeah. So this is the team that we have. As you see, we have Larkin as captain for turn 1, and turn 2 we have the option to put, for example, Scotty Wilbekin. Kotsar is also an option, but more we will go with Wilbekin, I believe, if Larkin doesn't work out as a captain. That was one of the reasons that we brought Wilbekin, just to have a safe, let's say, option as captain for turn 2 if the captain for turn 1 doesn't work out.
Yeah. Nice. So I think we cover all our teams. You guys let us know what do you think and what are you doing? Are you using all your changes? Also, I wanted to add there was a new feature within the fantasy in the statistics section when you can check how guards, forwards, or centers are performing against a team. So that way you can see whether a matchup of a fantasy player is preferable or not. So it's a good addition. It's not something fancy, but it actually helps, to pick a couple of players for sure. Cool.
Nice
Anything
addition.
more to add from your side?
No. It was a good point that you added this new function in the EuroLeague fantasy game. So also we will post on X, former Twitter. We will post all our recommendations per position and for credits. So
Cool. So,
let's see.
like, subscribe, retweet, and everything as you guys did.
Yeah,
And
it's
see you next time. Have a great EuroLeague fixtures.
yeah. See you next time, guys, and enjoy the games.